This army of lizardmen has been organized into 4 corps for a total of 250 points. It can be used as is for large battles or divided for smaller skirmishes. My chief general is a Slann priest mage, guardian of the wisdom of the ancients. He goes into battle in a palanquin carried on the shoulders of 4 Saurus warriors. The Slann, also spelled Slann, form one of the core species of the composite lizardmen civilization, and were created by that ancient and unimaginably powerful species known only as the Old Ones to be the leaders, organizers, architects, and techno-mages of the lizardmen society. As the Slann are among the most magically powerful beings present on the face of the known world, they rule the lizardmen as a venerated caste of semi-religious mage priests. In terms of gameplay, this figurine is considered a level 4 wizard, without any special rules. My first subordinate general is an old 1980s figurine from the second version of Warhammer. It was intended for the introductory game scenario. Slightly smaller than later figurines, I mounted it on the back of a dinosaur. The figurine had not survived the years without damage, and it was missing both arms, which I replaced with parts from my bits box. In terms of the game, this character is classified as a hero. Every gesture, every order from a lizardman general is an act of devotion to the ancients. The list of lizardmen, on page 69 of the DBF booklet, allows you to upgrade up to 2 units of ordinary lances to sub-generals. I therefore opted for 2 units of general lancers. The miniatures used are metal command groups from the 1990s. I chose for my lizardmen lances bases that are deeper than usual, which allows me to fit 4 miniatures on their bases. These generals fight in close order and wear heavy armor representing their natural carapace. Saurus officers, although they are neither priests nor scholars like the skinks, embody a deep religious dimension, both instinctive, symbolic, and cosmic. Born from the blood of war, they do not pray, they act. And in every strike of their weapon resonates the will of the ancients. For a Saurus officer, battle is a ritual. Heirs of the ancient Slanns who controlled Lustria before them, the lizardmen inherited an ancestral knowledge derived from the wisdom of their elders. I therefore wanted them to have technology that was advanced compared to many nations of the old world, without giving the army too much of a science fiction appearance. Hot air balloons fit well with what I had in mind. I made them using toy balls for dogs. The baskets are lids from Pebeo brand acrylic paint jars, and the suspension lines are made of wire. The crews are composed of skink archers. Each hot air balloon is adorned with a plastic banner to further anchor these balloons in lizardmen culture. They are counted as flyers according to the rules. The Kraksigers are the largest and most powerful of the lizardmen. Their skin is covered with thick scales, often blue or greenish. They have limited intelligence, but colossal strength and absolute loyalty to the other castes of the lizardmen. Their strength allows them to wield gigantic weapons, such as clubs or double hammers, capable of crushing heavy infantry and even cracking the armor of knights. Despite their apparent bestiality, they are honored as the powerful children of the ancients. Saurus were created by the ancients, quasi-divine entities, to fulfill a very specific role, to fight and protect the sacred order. They do not come into being biologically, but from breeding pools, or pools of life, from which they emerge fully formed and ready for combat. Their magical creation gives them a martial instinct. They are literally made for war. Physically, Saurus are massive and powerfully built, between 2 and 2.5 meters tall. Covered with thick scales, often blue, green, or turquoise. They are not very expressive. Their minds are cold, calculating, and focused on duty. Their intelligence is more limited than that of skinks, but sufficient to understand tactics and carry out complex orders. Stegodons are living relics of the First Age, contemporaries of the creation of the world. They inhabit the dense jungles of Lustria, often near the ruins of temple cities. Their backs are covered with bony plates and massive spikes, forming an almost impenetrable natural armor. Their heads bear an imposing bony crest and a frontal horn capable of piercing walls or enemy chariots. Stegodons are used as living war machines. On their backs is mounted a howdah platform, often adorned with gold, ancient glyphs, and totems. This howdah houses a crew of skinks, who wield javelins, blowpipes, or bows. The stegodon is a sacred creature, seen as a servant of the ancients. Some are kept in temples or ritual enclosures of the cities and are only released for holy wars. These giants move slowly like the stars, but when they strike, even the heavens tremble. Skinks are an essential caste of the Lizardmen of Lustria. They are small, agile, intelligent, and cunning reptilian beings who play a key role in the society, religion, and warfare of the temple cities. They are quick-witted, curious, and clever, far more intelligent than the Saurus or Kroxigers. Skinks embody the spirit of the Lizardmen, whereas the Saurus represents strength and the Slan's divine wisdom. Skinks form the organizational backbone of the temple city. Zapoke trackers are enormous predatory lizards with dark, iridescent skin, capable of slightly changing color to blend into the lush vegetation of Lustria. They measure nearly 6 meters long, with a flexible body, powerful limbs, and a jaw lined with sharp teeth. They are raised from hatching by hunter skinks, training experts who feed them by hand and guide them with clicks of sacred stone and coded whistles. The trackers are not frenzied beasts, but disciplined predators, capable of waiting for hours before pouncing at the command of their masters. The Zapoke stalkers represent the predatory cunning of the jungle, the silent death that lurks for intruders and bites them like the divine serpent. Skink skirmishers are small, extremely mobile units, trained to harass, trap, and disrupt the enemy. In an army dominated by massive creatures, Saurus, Stegodons, Bastiladons, they serve as nimble and adaptable scouts, capable of sneaking into places where the large beasts cannot go. Where the jungle breathes, they slip through. Where the enemy hesitates, they strike. The pterodons are large flying reptiles, similar to pterosaurs, agile and fast. Ridden by flying skinks, they serve as light aerial cavalry. Their mission is not to confront enemies in the sky directly, but to use their extreme mobility to disrupt, bombard, and harass. The pterodons operate at low altitude, quickly flying between trees, striking and then disappearing. Thus, the pterodons serve as a mobile veil to the army. The drums are set up at the rear of the army, often on elevated platforms. Their sound, deep and resonant, can carry for kilometers through the humid jungle. Thus, even in the confusion of battle, the entire army remains connected by the sound, from the smallest skink skirmisher to the oldest of the Kroxigers. The vibrations even travel through the ground, felt by reptilian creatures sensitive to these resonances. For the Lizardmen, these sounds are sacred, almost hypnotic. They recall the creation of the world and the beating heart of Itzel, the god of beasts. For their enemies, the roll of the drums is terrifying, a rumble that seems to come from the earth itself, heralding the relentless march of an army without fear or mercy.